Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Aaron, Dave, no Patrick today. Whoo, there's Patrick.
ADP in the house.
There we go.
So we always have Patrick with us.
That's right.
And long time coming, Thomas from Dispraised is on the show today.
How's it going?
All the way from Idaho, which is a beautiful state. I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, as long as people who move here don't vote, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I know you're getting a lot of Californians out there, and that's scary. Truly, that's scary.
Sounds like everywhere is, though. I don't know anybody from any state in the union that it doesn't like despise Californians. So I don't know.
Well, I trust and believe in our Governor Newsom here when he tells me that nothing's better than California right now. So
yeah,
I don't know why they're leaving, but I don't know. Maybe they like clean streets and low crime.
Yeah.
And no homelessness.
Yeah, no homelessness.
Yeah.
My brother lives in South Dakota. He goes, we don't have any homeless here. Yeah, he goes, you want to know why? Why? Because it's too cold to sleep on the streets.
Yeah.
There's a definite there's a definite plus to living in California if you're homeless. The weather's nice. Typically it's 105 this week here in Sacramento, so that's not too pleasant, but typically the weather's pretty nice. They're letting them park up on the beach down there in not Santa Monica, the big one, Venice Beach. They just let them park up on the beach, and I don't know, they got seaside property.
Yeah, but it is go to San Francisco during this week, and then they come back.
Yeah,
to Sacramento.
Yeah,
when it's cool.
Yeah, because San Francisco is just a couple hours away. So
that's right.
They'll cruise on down there where it's 60 degrees, and then come back when it's 80.
Yeah,
that's like a $600 road trip with fuel, though. So
yeah, but
they got more money than I do.
Yeah, but they stand on the corner with a sign, and people just hand them money left and right. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's really a problem. I knew when you came on today, we were going to get political, and we're going to get to all that, but I want to talk about your music first. So, Tom, if you don't know, Thomas is one of our friends from Dispraised, and they are a fantastic punk band. If you like old school punk, you're going to love Dispraised. And you know how, Aaron, there's I'm a big fan of big hair bands. So when we come across a band that sounds like a big hair band, I kind of dig it. It's like new stuff. It's fresh for me. That's what Dispraised is to punk. It's an extension of the old school punk scene, and you're unapologetic about it, correct?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm told anyway. Like I would.
Did Mark Zuckerberg tell you that?
I was saying earlier before we started recording, I kind of feel some days like I just woke up in the Twilight Zone, because I didn't know that I was any different than anybody else in the music scene that we're a part of, and then all of a sudden I was the bad guy. So I mean, it's all good. I'm good with being the bad guy. That's what I thought we were the whole time.
Well, there is there's certain things, and I'm not talking necessarily about Christian rock. I'm talking about the rock scene in general. There's certain things that you get a pass on. And I'm going to use an example of Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day at the iHeart Festival. Yes, I understand that he had a problem with substances and he might have been intoxicated. That I get that. But when I 100% agree with everything he said in that rant that he had, where he was like, we've been doing this for 30 years. We're Green Day. You're going to give me, 3 minutes or whatever it is. I'm not Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of, I don't know. That was very rock and roll, but for him to bust up the stage and all that, I was like, yeah, somebody's back. Somebody understands. And what's the next thing he does? I apologize for what I did. I'm going to rehab. I'm not looking down on somebody for going to rehab. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is, you know, that his record company and iHeart came back to him and said, if you ever want to be on an iHeart radio station again, which iHeart owns almost all of the radio stations, you might want to apologize for what you did.
Yeah.
And I think that is a very unpunk thing to do.
Yeah. Well, and then did he ever move? He was one of the ones who was going to leave the country if something happened. I don't know what it was.
No, he's still down there in
He's
Berkeley.
still, oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was like a month or two ago. He was going somewhere else for some reason.
Well, we were hoping, and you know, I did, you know, go on Twitter and offer to help him move. But, you know, I didn't hear anything back. I did, for a second, because I do find pure enjoyment in trolling people on Twitter, especially, you know, people like Billy Joe.
Yeah.
Who I went through his Twitter, and he's on and on and on about socialism. And, you know, if you've heard his music, you know what he's about. Okay. Yet at the same time, Green Day is pushing their own brand of coffee. and I went, well, wait a minute here. Okay. You've enjoyed the successes of Green Day itself, thanks to Americans. You have enjoyed the success of your music store down in Berkeley, and you've enjoyed the success of your coffee. So, which all of the money goes to Green Day. Okay. All of the money. Yeah. So you couldn't be more of a capitalist than Billy Joe Armstrong.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yet he's a poser because he gets on stage and he says what he says, knowing full well he is living, quote unquote, the alternate lifestyle of what he says.
That's all those guys. I mean, Rage Against the Machine is a terrible one. In our scene,
they became the machine that they raged against.
Yeah. All of those bigger bands, especially that had some sort of a political sentiment, and then all of a sudden they were like real outspoken about how they're socialist or how they sympathize or whatever for socialists. They all have more money than any of us, and it's not because they're sharing it with each other. You know, they made their money. They're still making their money. They're a brand. They're not even music anymore, especially at that level. You're not even creative anymore. You're just a brand. It's a brand. They're selling a brand. You know what I'm saying? So the entire idea of all of that, it just becomes part of the brand. The socialist experiment that they're trying to put in their music is just part of the brand that they're selling via capitalism. So it's none of it makes any sense.
And it's like, we hate America, but we have our Funko Pops on sale.
At the merch table you can buy. You know,
and the one that signed it, you know, we realize is $100 more, but you know,
you know, I have no problem with bands making money however they make money. If they charge $200 for a VIP experience, so be it. I have zero issue with that. But when you go on stage and you preach all this, and by the way, as I'm saying this, I don't want to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I happen to like a lot of Green Day music, and I've seen Green Day, and I will go see Green Day again because they put on a fantastic show. I don't necessarily have to agree with what you're trying to tell me, but just entertain me. So there's that. But they are absolutely living the capitalist lifestyle, the capitalist dream, with everything that they have going on right now. And by the way, I was talking about their coffee, and I said that, you know, they keep the money. I was trolling them with ads of Black Rifle Coffee, who gives a large portion of their money to wounded veterans.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to go buy coffee, I'm not a coffee drinker. You could do the trendy, cool thing and go buy it from Green Day. Who's going to pocket the money and tell you, see ya? or you can buy it from Black Rifle, and I think they take 40%. I could be wrong about that. 40% of the proceeds go to like the Wounded Warriors and the VFW and all these veterans causes. So
Real heroes.
Yeah. So who's really the capitalist and the socialist here?
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
It is. You got a new band coming out. Well, you've recorded. You got a new song coming out. The band is called Decaying Martyr, and that's
a great name too.
It is.
and from what I know from Thomas, it's they sat around and like, we just need a real heavy metal punk name, but it can't be all happy. It's got to be like Into the World type stuff, and out came Decaying Martyr.
Decaying Martyr. Yeah. Where did you come up with this name?
I don't know. It's the same thing. It's the same thing when people ask me where Dispraised came from. I needed a name, and it sounded right, I guess. So
I got you.
That's pretty much it.
All right. Well,
if Paul from the Bible was in a band today, I think he would be in Decaying Martyr.
Yeah,
probably. He would want to be in Decaying Martyr.
I would think that Paul would be more of a Dispraised kind of guy, but I can see him doing double duty in Decaying Martyr. Sure.
Yeah.
So, well, what's the inspiration? What brought this about? Because you're heavily involved with Dispraised, your band Dispraised. Was it just like you woke up one day and you said, I want to do something different, or how did it come about?
A little bit. I mean, so when Donovan and I put together Dispraised, it was really kind of we'd talked and been friends for a long time, and it seemed like it was something that would be easy and cheap for us to do. and then it grew. It kind of grew bigger than either of us really imagined that it would. And so, which is a good thing. But in music, when things grow like that, there's more pieces to the puzzle. So it takes a little longer to get things moving. And my mind, music to me is kind of my only release. I wake up, I work, I come home to a family. My oldest son is 17. This is his senior year. He's busy. My daughter's a freshman on the JV cheerleading squad. I got all sorts of stuff going on, right? So the only time I really have any release is when I'm writing music. Music is kind of my thing, and always has been. And so once Dispraised kind of took off and all these other parts of the puzzle started coming into place and started slowing things down, I started kind of getting backed up. And so Decaying Martyr is really, it's more or less something that we're not on a label. I don't really have any plans of doing any label stuff. If the time comes and there's discussion about releasing something on a bigger level, then that can come. But it's just something that I don't want to ever be kind of held back by the whole process of the music thing, So I'm just a huge music nerd and fan in general. I've always loved death metal. I've always loved like just pure metal. And so when this opportunity came up, I was like, yeah, let's do this. So I'm really enjoying it. We're working on another song right now, our second song. And we get the questions of, oh, are you going to put out an album? Are you going to do this? I don't know what we're going to do. We're just having fun. So
yeah, wherever it leads, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Wherever it leads. Well, I'm flipping through all my notes here. And by the way, that noise was Aaron breaking one of my coasters. And now he's got to put his bottled water on my San Francisco Giants coaster, which I know is probably killing him because he's a Dodger fan.
Sorry, I broke your coaster.
No, I don't care.
Hey, who's in the band? Decaying Martyr.
So honestly, officially, the only member is me.
Okay.
So a lot of everything else, I'm either working with random people on, or it's kind of just a collaboration. Sort of the same way that Dispraised started. But with us, it was two of us doing it. We both have, Donovan, he's been playing guitar in different bands forever, and I play bass and I play guitar, and so we kind of had our own little thing, and we didn't outsource too much of it, but this is pretty much just me.
Okay. Well, so, but is there anybody else, like you're contacting somebody about, hey, I got this? Are you are collaborating, I guess is the word I'm looking for, with anybody? Like, hey, let me bounce this off you, see what you think, or is it just solely you?
It's pretty much just solely me. Yeah.
And how do you feel about the finished product?
I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, I love it. And everybody seems to really be enjoying it as well. I think that it's just, I don't know what it is, but I'm not the age of the person. How do I say this? The music that I like was like made before I was alive, basically.
Right.
So, or before I was really involved. So, you talk about 80s hardcore and punk rock and stuff like that. That's what I love. But I'm an 86 baby. So I was raised in the 90s. All of this stuff happened. All these bands were done by the time I even heard them. So the same thing goes with this band. It's a lot more old school death metal, inspired by a lot of like early bands like Obituary and Carcass, and some of it's more groovy sort of death metal instead of just being real loud and crazy, which I enjoy all that too. But I get bored with the screamo, like modern kind of really heavy with a breakdown, really heavy with a breakdown. Like I just get bored of it. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun to kind of resurrect a sound that not a lot of people are doing anymore.
Let me tell you what I dig about this song, and I'll give you a little history on my musical taste as well. I go back even to the 40s and 50s for music that I like. And I dig the old school punk, and I have never been a major fan of metal and screamo, or screamo, death metal is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Now I always feel that it's absolutely got its place in rock, and I respect death metal, and I respect the people that like it. It's just not my thing.
Sure.
And a lot of the problem with death metal is it'll start out with this really cool groove, and then it's and I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, it was cool, and then I'm gone, because the entire
words on Spotify.
Yeah,
words
right,
on Spotify.
right. Because the rest of the song is that screaming.
Yeah.
I only liked like 10 seconds of the song. The rest of it I didn't care for. And I get it. There are people that love it, and that's awesome. Your song I dig, because there is that screamo, but then there's also that groove. There's some hard rock in there. There's a little bit of punk in there. It's got everything. And you keep listening because you're kind of like, what's next?
Yeah. No, it's fun. And I kind of think that, if people who are into it know what I'm talking about, the earlier you go into the scene, the death metal scene anyway, there was a lot more influence, a lot more punk rock influence. I mean, even in the thrash world, which was a huge part of the death metal scene, all those guys were Misfits fans. All those guys were fans of all the early punk rock bands, so it's all influence came from the same place. And early death metal, I really liked the fact that and earlier metal in general, you didn't have to have lyrics over every single guitar lick. Like there was focus on the fact that this is good music and let's listen to this guy just rock out, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so there was a lot more emphasis on the music. If anything, the vocals were just there to shock people. And so yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun.
You know, you're talking about the guitar and just the music of it, and I noticed some place in the 90s, because I grew up. You said you're 86, baby. I'm 71, baby. So my teenage years were spent in the 80s with big hair and glam.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I gravitate to. But it was cookie cutter. It was very cookie cutter. And there was always a guitar solo. Didn't matter what song it was, there was always a guitar solo. And we got away from that in the 90s. And that was okay. It was a little bit refreshing. The band that comes to mind for me is like Presidents of the United States of America, who just came out and jammed. And that was cool. But it almost was looked down upon to have a guitar solo, because you can't get past the 80s. You need that guitar solo in there. You got to show off instead of just being the band and playing. And there was kind of that mentality with people for a while, and I don't get it, because you have some amazing musicians. I'll go down a few. Oz Fox is a great guitarist. He's an amazing guitarist. And one of my favorite guitarists ever is John Five. And you ever watch that guy play? Holy smokes, man.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
And I don't normally listen to a lot of, instrumental songs, but I'll listen to his albums anytime. Mm-hmm. And most of them are just instrumental, because he's such an amazing guitar player. So we're overlooking the musicianship of a lot of these artists just so we can get in. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I would, in metal, it's kind of like that. It's definitely what I dislike the most about like modern heavy music is the breakdown. The instead of having guitar players that can like thrash and actually play, like you're saying, guitar solos, they fault out for like a like a real slow, and it's in every single song. It's like it loses me. And it's not, a guitar solo, at least there's some excitement to it because it could go anywhere. This is just like you forgot what to do, so you just stopped in the middle of the song. Like it's not impressive to me. Like it had its place, and now it's just, that's it. That's all it is anymore. And so and then what's funny is you go past the 90s and into the 2000s, and you started getting the pop punk regeneration, your Blink 182s, your Green Days once again, and all that. And then after that, you went straight to pop and rap, and there wasn't a guitar to be found for about 10, 15 years. And so now you hear anything with a guitar in it, and you're like, oh, this is actually pretty good. It's trash, but you're thinking it's good because you actually heard a guitar for once.
Well, it's like I'm a lover of soda, and if I go, a month without having a can of Coke, the next month I'm like, woo, this is pretty good. I like this.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Can we just throw it in here?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. The band is Decaying Martyr, and the song Unholy Cremation on Rock Salt. Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Aaron, Dave, and Patrick.
ADP in the house.
Oh,
don't forget.
Get some.
Yeah, that's right.
Get some.
We got Thomas
from Dispraised and Decaying Martyr.
Where's our studio audience at?
Oh,
there we are.
It's still early on a Saturday, so they're a little groggy.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they're tired.
new album comes out September 19th, I think it is.
No, September 9th. 9/9.
Yeah.
9/9/22.
The pre-sales are the 19th or whatever. So Lines in the Dirt.
Yeah.
From Dispraised.
From Dispraised. Yeah. First one question. Are you doing vinyl for this album?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the move will be. I know that I would still really like to get Moral Raw on vinyl. And it will happen eventually. I just don't know what the timeline's looking like. So eventually I'm gonna say yes.
You did put something on vinyl, and
I gotta
the other day I gave it to Dave.
Yeah, I love it. And I've been showing it around to everybody. I'm like, check out this vinyl. It's really cool. I feel it. It's so heavy. I mean, it's like, it's thick. That is a quality pressing. And let me throw this out there really fast. I don't know if you guys were involved in this gift to me, but thank you, because there was a nice little Dispraised care package of some stickers, a patch, the two
I think you put
vinyls.
it on sale like March, April. And I was like, oh, this would be great for Dave because he likes vinyl.
Yeah.
And likes putting it in frames and putting it up. In
Well, I got a lot of vinyl over there. It's not, I've got the autograph stuff up in frames, but thank you if you were involved, Thomas, and thank you to Rottweiler Records too. Yeah. I don't know if they were involved, but hey, quality stuff. I'm so excited to get the little package, and it was just jam-packed full of cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
So thank you.
The color was great
no
on that vinyl. So back to the music. So what subjects are you
Aaron's editing himself, so let me help you out, Aaron. Okay. Hey, who are you offending on this album, Thomas?
There we go.
Well, there's one uplifting song. There's a good positive song. One positive
a punk praise
song.
and worship song. Wow.
Not praise and worship, but positive. So
okay.
So no, there's one song on there that's that kind of is attacking mental health, and kind of in a more encouraging, uplifting song. There's kind of there can be anyway a stigma when it comes to Tom, where everything you do is negative. So I wanted to make sure everybody knew that I'm not just a self-loathing individual, that there is some positivity there. No, but so yeah, we attack mental health issues. We really kind of, I mean, everybody's going to be mad. Besides that song, everybody's going to be mad. So
what you're not going to be able to find it on Facebook because they won't allow it.
Well, and that's the lead single right now that the label put out is I believe the one you guys are going to play here in a minute. It's called Jab, and I'm sure your imagination can lead you to what it's all about. It's just kind of it's about the idea of mandatory vaccines and vaccinations and whatnot.
Well, there's our blue banner, Aaron. We just earned our blue banner on Spotify.
Yeah.
My goal is to get a blue banner on every show.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not, anti-vaccine or whatever. It's the idea of being forced to do anything I'm not really a huge fan of. So,
well, and I love this week that they came out. Yeah, I love this week that they came out and said, yeah, it's no different. Get it, don't get it. Well, no, we want you to get it, but it's no different if you don't.
Yeah.
Now, when you put together the songs, is it you and Donovan kind of collaborating to put together lyrics?
So one of the songs on the new album, Donovan wrote, I would say, like 75% of. The rest of everything that we've done has just been, as far as writing goes, has just been me. So it was kind of fun to take some of the lyrics that he had come up with and tweak them and turn them into a song. And so there is that. Typically, the way the whole process there works out is Donovan's he's a machine. This man, I bet you, I don't even know. I'm sure thousands of hours worth of music he's recorded and has stored on several different computers somewhere. I mean, all he does is write music, record music. It's what he's probably right now recording a song,
writing something.
Yeah,
he records and writes at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm working on song number 1, but I'm writing song number 2 as I do it.
Yes.
I'm a multitasker. That's what
exactly and 5 or 6 different styles. And I mean, the guy, like I say, he's just a machine. So I'll tell him, hey, let's start working on 8 to 10 tracks, and he'll send me 4 or 5 Dropbox files with 8 to 10 tracks in it for me to decide which ones I like and whatnot, and then we'll kind of fine tune everything beyond there. And then the last part of the process is getting it to Justin and getting him in the studio to record drum tracks too. So that's kind of the way we do that.
Now, when he sends you over the rough tracks, are you listening to it objectively, or are you listening to it like, well, I don't really like that, I got to think of a nice way to tell him throw that out? Or are you aggressively going at it, going, yeah, no, we're not going to do that, I think we should do it this way?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of all of that. I think that when you write as much music and put out as much stuff as this guy does, being told no isn't a big deal, because he's like, okay, well, I got 150 other songs I can show you. And unfortunately for us, he'll throw songs in our little chat group we have. We don't even ever get a chance to listen to, because it's just so much all the time.
Yeah.
So the direction that we're planning on going has been more requested and fine-tuned on my end, as far as I'm telling him kind of the style I want, the sound that I want. And so he's writing new stuff that's a little more fresh, and it's challenging him, and he's enjoying it. And so we do a little bit of everything. Sometimes he'll find a song that he recorded 10 years ago, and I'm like, man, this is it, and we'll use it. So
he's got the Prince-like vault of music, huh?
Yes, he does.
Just writes them and throws them in the vault, never to be heard again.
Yeah.
And then pulls them out when needed. I saw this yesterday on Facebook, and it just occurred to me that if you do put out a vinyl pressing of Jab, I'll text this over to you, and I'll put it up on the Facebook so everybody can see what I'm talking about. Somebody posted on Facebook yesterday, I have many regrets in my life, but none compared to this. And it's a guy, he's got a shoulder tattoo on his arm there of the COVID virus with a Band-Aid over it that says J&J. It's got the J&J logo on it, and 3/16/21. It's like, why are you doing this to yourself? It was not enough that you went down and got the jab. Now you need to tell everybody. I like needles so much. It just every time the tattoo needle went on my arm, it was full of J&J.
To those who don't know much about Dispraised, Donovan is in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
And Justin is in somewhere in Kentucky?
Yes.
Okay. And so, and you're in Idaho. So
we should get Justin together with that guy.
Yeah, it's true.
Sounds good.
Yeah. This guy.
Oh, yeah. Patrick.
Patrick.
Yeah.
He's out there in Kentucky, and I think
Yes.
he's looking for some band members.
Maybe.
I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Um,
How is this album different than the first?
This album's just a lot more straightforward, thrashy punk rock. Moral Rot, we did a little more kind of spoken word sort of stuff intertwined in it. You heard a lot more Black Flag influence, I would say, in Moral Rot. This album is just straightforward, in your face, thrashy punk rock.
I don't normally like to ask this question because I think it's kind of a stupid question, but when it applies to punk music, because the label got slapped on so much, I'm sorry, Green Day, just not punk. Used to be on their first album, second, third, fourth, no. What would you liken your music to? So what I'm getting at is, if you dig the Ramones, you're gonna dig Dispraised, or you dig this band, you're gonna dig where. For someone that's never heard of Dispraised,
Yeah.
who is the band you go, if you like that band, you're gonna dig us?
Well, I think that for the last release, for Moral Rot, there really was a lot of Henry Rollins influence in what I was doing, my writing style and whatnot. And I think that I don't really know that it wasn't on purpose. I remember listening to the album and going, huh, sounds like a Black Flag album. So for the last album, I'd say there's a lot of Black Flag influence. And this one, there's probably this one's more along the lines of like Bad Brains, I would say.
Okay.
So if anybody's familiar with Bad Brains, just a lot more fast, aggressive, maybe even a little noisy at times, just in your face, hardcore punk rock.
Yeah, that's what I love. See, I when I tell people about Dispraised, I always call it old school punk, because
Yeah.
man, that's what it sounds like. It's unfiltered. It's just, punk was always just 4 guys or 3 guys or 5 guys getting on a stage and making some noise, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily about, oh, there goes number 2. He broke my second coaster, which is my
Wow.
Giants coaster.
No, it's not, bro.
Did that
Wow.
intentionally.
Yeah, I think he's trying to do it now. Once is an accident. Once is an accident.
Hey, hey, if I had 60 friends that all suddenly died mysteriously, I'd be under investigation now, wouldn't I? Anyways, getting back to what I was saying, the old school punk, I use it as a compliment, but I think back to the 77, 78, where that scene exploded. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was 6 or 7 years old, but I do remember history.
Yeah.
CBGB. That's what your music makes me feel like I'm back in that era. I love the Ramones, but the Ramones is not hard and in your face like you are with Dispraised or a lot of these other punk bands. I dig the Ramones. I've met Marky Ramone, and that dude, we don't agree politically at all, but he is a very genuine and humble guy, and what a nice guy.
Yeah.
So, and he sticks to his convictions. And I can appreciate that, regardless of what side of the fence you're on politically. If you can back up what you're saying with some facts and we can have a conversation, that is great. I respect you. I respect people like Bill Maher, because the guy sticks to it. I will even say this, while I don't agree with his politics or what he wants to do, I respect Bernie Sanders. I like Bernie Sanders. You know why? Over 30 years, he doesn't flip-flop. He's the same as he was 30 years ago.
Right.
Okay. So I respect that. And that's a dude I can have a conversation with. Now, I do troll him on Twitter when he talks about his socialism. And I ask him how many homeless families he's moved into his 3 mansions. He never responds. And I don't know why. But your music is that old school punk. And I just love it. I keep going back to this because we have we put too much frosting on the cake. How about that?
Yeah.
With music.
Yeah. And you know, for punk rock fans now, there's so many different, it's weird how there's so many different kind of subgenres of the same, you know, but yeah, if you're looking for pretty crisp singing vocals, this isn't the album for you. If you're looking for
if you're looking for Celine Dion, it's not here.
Yeah. If you're looking, you know, if you're looking for high-pitched, whiny songs about your girlfriend, this isn't the album for you.
That's a Blink one.
Delilah?
Yeah. No, that's a Blink 182
Oh,
album for
okay.
sure.
Yeah.
My
If you're
girlfriend
looking-
left me and
Yeah. If you're looking for funny, comedic skate punk, this isn't the album for you. But if you're looking for something that just is like, I heard the term aggro punk. Never heard that before. I just, like I said earlier, one day I woke up and I was in the Twilight Zone. So now there's all these different things, but apparently this is aggro punk, which is aggressive punk rock.
You know what? I like that name because I use the word aggro a lot.
Yeah.
So I dig that name.
Yeah. To me, it's just punk rock. I don't know.
Yeah, it's stripped down, natural in its true form, punk rock. That's what it is. And that's what I dig about it, because when I listen to Dispraised, like I said, I feel like I'm in a tiny little hole in the wall club, and there's a bunch of people around and we're just getting rowdy.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about. And there's people flying off the stage and all kinds of stuff. So go ahead.
No, I was going to say, as we kind of wrap up our conversation, how can people pre-order this? I mean, the pre-orders are happening now. Where can they go?
So right now, from what I understand, all of the pre-orders are on the Dispraised Rottweiler Records Bandcamp page. So if you just go to Yahoo or Google or whatever you like to use and type in Bandcamp and Dispraised, it should pop up. So and the pre-orders are both digital and compact disc. So that's
you put them on CD
available
too.
right now. Yeah.
Nice.
That's great.
And do you have it in the back of your head that you want to do another vinyl pressing of anything, or maybe no?
Yeah. So I definitely want to get everything. Me personally, I'm a vinyl nerd too. So I would really like to get all of the Dispraised catalog on vinyl. I'd also like to get whatever ends up being the final catalog for Decaying Martyr on vinyl. I've tossed around ideas of doing a split 12-inch of maybe Decaying Martyr on one side and Dispraised on the other side.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Some different things, but yeah, no, definitely in the future there's more vinyl to be had. Right now, vinyl sucks because it's popular again, which is cool, but there's not many presses out there. So you're either in a line for over a year to get something completed, or you're paying just astronomical amounts of money that you'll never be able to recover.
Recoup, yeah.
And it's not really about that for me. The recovering the money or whatever. It's, to me, vinyl is history, right?
Mhm.
It's, you knew CDs weren't going to last forever. They're too easy to damage. Cassette tapes are also kind of one of those things that are history. 8 tracks. They didn't last. Vinyl is really
Well,
something that you can put away and it'll just be there forever, you know?
There is nothing better than listening to Pink Floyd, The Wall
Yeah.
on 8-track, and in the middle of Comfortably Numb, you go, and it picks up
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah. So so yeah, for vinyl, when I have something on vinyl, I know that when we put that little EP out that you have, I remember holding it in my hands and feeling like this is history. This is something that's gonna be here beyond me, you know?
Right.
If it's on Spotify, who knows what's gonna happen to all that stuff 10, 15 years from now.
Yeah, we see how that stuff goes.
Yeah, so having the vinyl is important to me. So yeah, definitely I think you'll see everything on vinyl at some point. I don't know how soon though.
I said that going into this whole digital era, and the record companies were, you know, crying like babies that they didn't have any money anymore. And I went, well, if you could just put out a quality product, people would buy it.
Sure.
You're not putting out a quality product, and people don't care, and they'd rather just steal it on Napster.
Yep.
There's always going to be those people that steal the music. They're
Yeah,
always
regardless.
there.
Yeah.
But
And I don't even hate those people because I am those people a little bit. So
you know,
the
well, I
music
don't have to
that-
be those people anymore because now you guys send it to me. So
Yeah.
you've legitimized me.
Well, and I mean, you can have a Spotify where artists don't get paid anything anyway and still feel good about yourself. So I mean, that's just that's the world we're in.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you guys are getting literally not even pennies on the dollar. You're getting fractions of pennies on the dollar from Spotify. And yeah, that sucks. It really does. I mean, we don't get anything from Spotify, and Spotify's that's our go-to. But I don't know. Spotify needs to do better, I think. But I don't know the business end of it. I don't know how you make all that work. I know there's a lot of expense. I don't know. We do know they're getting rich. They're a big corporation and they keep getting bigger. So, but I don't know. It's the landscape's definitely changed. Vinyl, you're right. I never looked at it that way. I just looked at it like I like holding something. I like looking at the pictures while I listen to the music. I like reading the lyrics as I'm listening to the music. And I know I can go online and read the lyrics. But I'm talking about, you know, when you held the lyric sheet, when you pulled out that record, you were so excited to have a lyric sheet because a lot of bands didn't do that. And you go, I can't understand the song. But yeah, it was just an experience to get a new album.
Yeah. It's just a whole lot more personal, you know. A CD can go anywhere with you and you can share it with anyone. But to listen to that vinyl, you got to be sitting down in your bed, in your bedroom. You know what I mean? Just hanging out. And so it's a lot more personal, and there's just, I don't know, there's a different feel to it. So well, we'll definitely have some more vinyl out.
Well, let me tell you, on this pressing, it is a quality product. The vinyl is beautiful. Can you grab it for me? Let me grab it.
Okay.
I just want to show it off real fast. Hold on.
Okay. He's grabbing the package.
Yeah.
I ordered it so long ago from you, and
Yeah.
your birthday's in July. I had to search, where'd I put it? And that's part of getting a little older, not remembering everything. So,
I have.
you ready to go?
I have.
You ready to go?
Yeah, I have gifts for my wife from Christmas from 2 years ago that I forgot to give her. And I was like, oh, make a really good Christmas present for next year. Yeah. I know it's hard to see with the green screen thing, but there's that. But this vinyl, it's heavy.
Yeah.
You know, for a 7-inch, this thing is heavy. This is the green one. And
so do you have more left at Bandcamp of these?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
So if you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, wow, that's cool, go to his Bandcamp and order that.
Even the labels are very
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
You did
see,
a
that-
fantastic job.
It really is. And this is what I'm talking about with the record companies. When I say, you know, if you just put out a quality product, people will buy it.
Yep.
People will buy it. Oh, record store day. Yeah. I can't get the one I want because people are lined up around the store.
Yeah.
It's got to tell you something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how can they get a hold of you? Your Dispraised Punk on Instagram, you on Facebook?
Yeah. So it should be Dispraised Punk at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and now TikTok.
TikTok.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he went TikTok on us.
Yeah, I know.
I tell you what though, it's worth the price of admission to go to Dispraised Punk on Instagram. Your little ad about your album that's got Obama, Biden, and all them.
I haven't seen this one.
Oh, yeah.
It's floating around. It's really good. I think they call it a reel. I'm old, so
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know all this stuff on Instagram, but it's really, really cool. And so
Who came up?
there you go, right there, Dave.
Oh,
I'm showing
nice.
Dave, I'm showing Dave the
I
little
like that
ad,
one.
the
Yeah.
little ad you have. And
We'll put that up on Facebook as well.
yeah.
The who came up with the idea for the last ad where it said, you know, you could, you know, buy Dispraised, but you know, just go listen to it on Spotify.
Yeah.
Was that Rottweiler? Or was that you?
Yeah, yeah, no, that was the label. It's kind of funny because so the label, I don't know how much time we have here, but the label
As much as you want.
the original owner sold the label to Mythic Panda Productions, which has been cool. But there, you know, with any change, there's some friction, and then of course, us being us, there's unnecessary friction, I'm sure. And so
That's the band we warned you about.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I was always telling them, you know, we're not marketable. Like we're a punk band. We're not a hardcore band. We're not young. We're not cute. We're not sexy. There's nothing good about us. Like we're just making music. So there was a lot of those sort of conversations. And then finally one day they were like, you know what? Like you keep saying this about yourselves, so we're just gonna market it like that. So here you go. Don't buy their stuff because it's not that good and you're not, you know. And so I was like, all right, cool. Well, now we're on the same page at least. So
I loved
yeah.
it. When I saw that, I thought it was so funny. I loved it.
Yeah.
Thomas, I want to bring you back on in the next month or so. I want to talk to you about the psychology and the just the marketability of the record industry and punk music.
Perfect.
Does that make sense? I know I was rolling out nickel words there for, you know, but no, because I honestly, this is what is in my mind right now, which is and it can go in a much bigger conversation that we don't have time for, but punk bands are anti-establishment, and it's okay to be broke in a punk band. However, at the same time, a little money would be nice. Who's gonna turn down Green Day money to be this major band that plays arena? I don't fault bands for that. However, as we've seen, and I'll use Green Day as an example, if you watch the progression over their albums, they talk about, you know, in the first albums, they're just all punk. I don't know much of the music from the first ones. I just listen to it. I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, he goes through, you know, in Dookie, they talk about growing up in Oakland and kind of what that's like. And, you know, and then of course they've got songs about doing drugs and that sort of thing. And then they got songs about sobriety and then falling off the wagon and all this, and it's their life experiences. But I feel like artists get to a point where there's so much money and so much success involved that they don't have the inspiration that they used to have. And they're trying to manufacture it at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
No, I agree.
That's your homework assignment. We'll talk about it next time. Here's Jab. It's the new one from Dispraised. Thomas, thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank
And
you.
thank
Check
you
them
to-
out on all
No
the
problem.
social media, TikTok. Please check them out. These guys are great. We want to, we want a third and fourth album. So support. 'em.
Yeah, more and
Yeah.
more. And thanks again to Rottweiler Records. I dig their label out there. I haven't talked to anybody but I
Yeah.
love those guys. I love the label. I love what they're doing with you guys. So
Yeah.
awesome. It's the new one, Jab. It's out September 9th. Lines in the Dirt, Dispraised. It's the Rock Salt MUZKAST experience.